Hey guys, so it's Mike. Today's video is coming to you from my dining room floor. This is the second time I'm filming this video. If you watched my last video, you'll know that I'm moving out of my apartment in Chicago, and I'm doing something, but I'm gonna keep talking. So I'm moving out of my apartment in Chicago, and my whole filming setups are whacked out. I don't know where I'm filming. I don't know. I had the wonderful idea of trying to film in my bathroom because I was like, okay, well, the lighting's kind of nice. It's like white and it looks good, and I felt like the audio would be better. I was absolutely wrong. The lighting was fine, but the audio was just like so echoey and reverby. I literally had got 1 minute into editing it, and I was like, I just can't watch this anymore. Like it sounds like I'm talking with like the bass boosted effect on. Is basically what it was. So I scratch that and I'm refilming it now. So this video is gonna come really late. There's like a big gap between like my last upload. This is why. I sincerely apologize. But you guys don't care. You're watching this for the reopening content. This video is not about me, even though it's not my channel. So basically today I'm talking about Purdue's fall semester and like what's gonna happen. I feel like the conversation that you hear on the news these days is just about like schools reopening and like how the hell are we gonna do this safely? Well, Purdue's made some plans for the fall, and I decided I wanted to talk about those things in the video. So that's what this is gonna be about. I'll just jump right in. Like most of my videos, I'm gonna be looking at my computer because I have my notes here. So if I'm looking at the ground, it's not because I'm like looking at a bug or something. It's just because I have a computer there. All right. Basically, there's 4 big old major changes this semester I'm gonna talk about, and then a bunch of like little things that will help you contextualize what this semester is gonna look like if you're coming back, or if this is gonna be your first semester. The first major change is that Purdue is offering hybrid classes. Basically what hybrid means is that Purdue is offering classes either in person, socially distant of course, online, just like completely online, or a mix of both if you have like lectures are online, and then like the lab or recitation sections meet in person. So yeah, that's the first big change. The second big change is the Purdue plan. So Purdue really likes their alliteration, so they made Protect Purdue Plan as sort of the narrative for this fall semester. It's very similar to like the honor code that you sign when you come here. Basically just talking about how well this goes this fall semester depends a lot on individual responsibility. Obviously, Purdue can only control what happens in their classrooms and on their campus and during business hours. But for all the other hours of the day, days of the week, when you're not in class and you're at home and you're doing social things, basically the Protect Purdue pledge is just make good choices. So they're encouraging students to do that. And then along with the Protect Purdue plan, there's a lot of other different tidbits and policies and everything. I'll talk about them later, but yeah, that's basically Protect Purdue. That's the narrative for this fall semester. Number 3, they're implementing a rigorous contact tracing / testing program. So there's a bug in here. How did that get in here? Go away. So that sounds kind of vague when I say it, but because I don't really know any more information about it other than testing is going to be regular and contact tracing is gonna be a thing. Well, I don't have a lot more information about this. I do know that all tests done on Purdue's campus will be processed in Purdue labs, so it'll be quicker than how most places are doing their testing, which is that they're sending it to like labs far away in some centralized area. Basically, tests will be analyzed in dedicated labs on Purdue's campus, which is, I think, great. This bug needs to okay, it's gone now, but what was I talking about? Oh my god. Yeah, contact tracing. Rigorous testing, contact tracing is gonna be happening this semester, whether you like it or not. And then the 4th big change is that the academic calendar is being revised. So usually what happens is the fall semester starts in August, like the 3rd week of August, everyone comes back, and then we have a 4-day weekend in October, known as October break, fall break, whatever, for Columbus Day weekend, and then we have like maybe another month or so of school before Thanksgiving break, and then everyone comes back for like the last 2 or 3 weeks for dead week and finals, and then the semester's over. So that ain't happening this year. Basically this year, classes start at the same time, like 3rd or 4th week of August, but there's no fall break, and then after Thanksgiving, all classes will be conducted online, so they expect most people to go home for the semester after Thanksgiving break. So instead of there being 2 different breaks, which creates, 2 extra situations where people leave campus, go to many places across the country, possibly the world, and then come back to campus. There's gonna be none of that. So everyone comes at the beginning of the fall semester, hopefully stays on campus for the most part, and then leaves at the end of the fall semester. That was definitely something I wasn't expecting, but totally makes sense now that I think about it. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. And although this isn't Purdue, it's worth mentioning that IU, I know they suck. Both those schools low-key do like the same things when it comes to like their schedule and just like how they operate, because I guess they're the big two state schools in Indiana. IU released their calendar for the whole year. So they're doing the same thing that we're doing for the first semester, but then their second semester, they're online for the first few weeks. And then you come to campus in February, maybe like the third or fourth week of your classes, and then you stay there, there's no spring break, and then you stay there all the way till your finals week, which you take in person, and then you're done for the semester. Which, I mean, also makes sense because spring break is another time when people leave campus and go to a lot of different places and come back. So I guess by minimizing that, there's less risk of bringing in foreign viruses. But like I said, Purdue hasn't talked about the spring semester yet, but I thought it was worth mentioning because Purdue and IU low-key do the same things. So yeah, those are the 4 major changes, and now I'm just gonna talk about little like tidbits that are also gonna be different. So Purdue is reducing the number of administrative employees working on campus by at least a third. Don't quote me on this, but I think it might be closer to 50% now. They're just trying to get as many people as they can, like staff that are older, out of there. COVID tests are now required before you return to campus. I believe it's gonna be in the form of a mail-in testing kit. So you're gonna order one, you'll probably get an email, hopefully by the time this video is uploaded, and then you can order one, it'll be delivered to your house, you take it, and then you send it back to Purdue, and you need to get that process before you come back to campus. I believe if you're coming from a high-risk state, you have to quarantine for 14 days. Don't quote me on that though. That bug is fucking back. I don't wanna kill it, but it's really getting on my nerves. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Leave! Do you not understand? I don't want you here. Is he okay? So yeah, the COVID test is required before you come back on campus. And then on top of that, a flu vaccine is also required on top of all the other immunizations that are required before you come on campus. And I'm guessing the idea behind that is just to avoid like a flu outbreak while we're in a pandemic, so there's not like 2 viruses threatening the livelihoods of everyone. And then they're setting aside rooms or buildings to quarantine those who test positive for COVID-19. And I'm not sure where those rooms are gonna be. I don't know if they're just gonna like rent out the fucking Hampton Inn that's just down the street. Upon arrival, students will receive a big old care package, basically. A little kit with a thermometer, mask, hand sanitizer, and a couple other things. And I was informed that the masks are Purdue themed, which I'm very excited for, because if honestly they were just generic masks, I would have been very disappointed in Purdue. I pay thousands of dollars a year to go to this institution, and frankly, I would have been offended if they weren't like Purdue branded. Like I would have dropped out. I'm serious. So thank God they're doing that. Masks are required on campus. I'm very happy about this. I feel like this shouldn't be an argument. I really don't have time this academic year to deal with people who like I don't have time for people who refuse to wear masks. And on top of that, West Lafayette issued a mask order, which I'm expecting will remain in effect for at least the end of the semester. And then actually, literally just today, the state of Indiana released a mask ordinance. Everyone has to wear masks in public spaces. So there's literally 3 layers of authority being like, wear your damn mask. They're not messing around, I guess. You're gonna have to wear your mask inside study halls, in the buildings and lecture halls, and just even walking around campus, I believe. There are no lectures larger than 150. Basically, if you enrolled in a class with lectures that are usually larger than that, they are probably gonna go online. Yeah, basically now that these plans are being finalized, Purdue's switching a lot of their like larger lectures online, and like moving their small classes into larger classroom spaces to accommodate social distancing. So people's schedules have been like going crazy lately. Like for example, I registered for all my classes in person, but now I think 2 of them are online. All the changes to your schedule, they shouldn't include changes in what time your class is meeting, but your location might change and some of your classes might just go online completely, or if they're in person, they might switch to a hybrid format. This should be finalized by July 23rd, I believe, Thursday, July 23rd. So definitely when you see this video, if you haven't checked your schedule all summer, definitely go check it, because I guarantee something has changed. Like for example, my hydraulics class just completely deleted itself off my schedule yesterday. I know they're gonna put it back, and I'm assuming that it's just gonna be an online class now. There's gonna be at least 10 feet between students in lecture halls. So not just next to each other, but in like rows in front and behind you too. So probably every other row will be seated, maybe every other couple seats will be seated. So there's like a 10-foot circle around every student. And then plexiglass barriers will be put around professors. All right, dorms. So dorms will be reconfigured for a lower capacity. So I believe the rule is that there needs to be 162 square feet of space for every person in a residence hall. So if you're living in a double, I believe it's 324 square feet. I'm assuming they might be a little bit more generous than that bare minimum, because that bare minimum 162 square feet, if I'm not mistaken, is just the square footage of a 6-foot radius circle. What is it with my obsession with like doing this motion? Like I keep doing that throughout the video.
Not, he can mow down and
right on that world record time.
So if you're living in the Carey Closets, aka the infamous tiny dorm I talked about in one of my other videos, you're in luck because you're gonna be living in a single now. I know it's gonna suck because I honestly think it's a really nice bonding experience that you can be close enough to your roommate in your separate beds to hold each other's hands. That's gonna have to be foregone this semester. You win some, you lose some, okay? Basically, there's supposed to be 10 feet of head-to-head sleeping space. Now for the fun part, like social events. So all events on campus have to be less than 50 and adhere to Purdue specific social distancing guidelines. And then any larger than 50 must be subject to approval from the dean's office, I think, or student activities office. I'm not entirely sure. You're gonna have to get it approved either way. And then all events involving visitors from off campus are strongly encouraged to be canceled. So basically all career fairs, I'm guessing, are just not gonna be a thing. And then the big kicker, no parties or social mixers are allowed, which, I mean, makes total sense. So yeah, that's the gist of how Purdue's gonna be operating this fall. My personal opinions, it's tough to say. I think I'm probably gonna end up going back this semester, but I'm kind of aware that's gonna be just very different, like a shell of what my normal college experience is gonna be like. Do I think it's sustainable? I don't know. We'll see what happens this fall semester, but yeah, that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a like. Comment down below anything you want. Comment down below suggestions for other video ideas too, or if you can think of anything I forgot to mention in this video, definitely mention it down below as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.